Some cars are iconic for their power, some for their beauty. And then there is the Cadillac Cimarron, a car that is iconic for all the right reasons. While people talk about Ferraris and Porsches, for thousands of drivers, the Cadillac Cimarron was the true hero of its era. But what exactly made the people actually love the Cadillac Cimarron? And why was it one of the most beloved cars of the 80s? Buckle up as we take a ride to the past and uncover why this infamous ride was actually beloved by many. The Cadillac Cimarron was a luxury car manufactured and marketed by the Cadillac division of General Motors from 1982 all the way to 1988, over a single generation. Throughout its entire production, the Cimarron was manufactured at Southgate Assembly from 1981 to 1982 and Janesville Assembly from 1982 to 1988. Both facilities produced the model alongside the Chevrolet Cavalier and its J-platform badge-engineered variants. Now, released as a sister car to the Buick Oldsmobile and its Pontiac counterparts, the Cadillac Cimarron was an upscaled Chevy Cavalier, and perhaps one of the most solid evidence of GM's badge engineering at its finest. The Cimarron was a new kind of Cadillac for a new kind of Cadillac owner. And depending on the model year, Cimarrons were powered by 1.8 or 2.0 liter four-cylinder engines, good for about 86 to 88 horsepower. And if you were really living large, as one did in the 80s, there was a 125 horsepower 2.8 liter V6 available, along with a 3-speed automatic transmission for the V6. But don't be too impressed yet, as the Cimarron had 13-inch wheels and some seriously classy hubcaps too. But the Cimarron was not just a beauty from the outside. Its interiors were nothing short of a masterpiece. Inside, the Cimarron came with a leather-wrapped steering wheel, a tachometer, leather bucket seats, hand-lever parking brake, air conditioning, deep pile carpeting, and an AM/FM radio with 4-hole speakers, making it the epitome of 80s luxury and more than enough for thousands of people to feel like they were driving in style. Now, for thousands, going from 0 to 60 in under 10 seconds wasn't all there is to driving an iconic car. The Cimarron, which offered the luxury of a Cadillac with the practicability needed for everyday use, it became the go-to car for those who valued smart, stylish driving over speed, which is why many thought it was definitely one of the best of its era. And hey, who needs speed when you can enjoy the scenery? The engine of the Cimarron hummed like a finely oiled machine, providing a smooth ride that really let you feel the road beneath your tires. Yes, the Cimarron indeed offered a unique driving experience. Now, some might call it bumpy or underwhelming, but Cimarron fans, well, they called it engaging. Now, for the rest of us, the Cadillac Cimarron is probably just another Cadillac, right? However, that was far from the truth. Since Cadillac was founded, it had been known for designing and manufacturing automobiles about luxury, first-class comfort, and convenience, and classic styling with impressive performance. Its reputation for quality was so widespread that even the name Cadillac had become synonymous with only the best. And for the Cadillac Cimarron fans, owning one wasn't just about the practicality, it was about the prestige of the famed Cadillac badge. The Cadillac crest on the front was a lifestyle to them, as driving a Cadillac around, no matter the model, instantly made them feel superior to their friends and neighbors. For many, owning a Cadillac was a statement. It felt like saying, I like standing out from the crowd, but I also like luxury.
I like turtles.
And for thousands of drivers in the 80s, that's all they needed to fall in love with these interesting Cadillac creations. And the car retailed for around $12,000, which, yes, was a bit more expensive compared to other compact vehicles at that time, but it was surely more affordable compared to other luxury vehicles. I mean, who wouldn't want to drive around in a luxury vehicle without paying luxury prices? So just a quick timeout here, guys. Before we move on to the rest of the video, could we please ask for a small favor? If you have enjoyed the content so far, could you please just take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel? Over 98% of viewers watch our videos and do so without subscribing. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it is a really huge help to us in growing our small channel. Thanks. Okay, now let's get right back into it. Now, of course, just like all iconic cars, the Cadillac Cimarron wasn't without its critics. But that is exactly what made people root for it even more. While some critics may have looked at the Cimarron with a raised eyebrow, its fans looked at it with pride, embracing the car's unique charm. It was the ultimate underdog, and who doesn't love an underdog story? And let's not forget the fact that the early 80s had some of the highest gas prices, meaning those big Cadillacs and muscle cars didn't seem so practical anymore. But it was a different story for the Cimarron, as its small, fuel-efficient engine did not bleed its owners' wallets. People could still drive a Cadillac without feeling guilty every time they pulled up to the gas station. In addition to the high gas prices of the 1980s, the American automotive industry also faced a shortage of cars that could compete with the European market for both style and power. But believe it or not, GM had it all covered. The Cimarron was a European-style luxury compact. After all, the 80s were all about imported cars and that Euro aesthetic. So for its fans, owning a Cimarron meant feeling like they were driving something sleek, European, and sophisticated. The exterior design, while being borrowed from its predecessor, the Chevy Cavalier, had a few premium touches that gave it that continental look. The touch of Europe was enough to make people feel like they were driving something special. Throughout the years, the Cimarron was positioned to compete with the likes of BMW and Mercedes-Benz. But unfortunately, it was discontinued in 1988. In a 9-1 vote, General Motors management instead decided to discontinue the model for multiple reasons. These include Cimarron's disappointing sales and the company wanting to prioritize its resources towards major updates of the 1988 Eldorado Seville and the 1989 Sedan DeVille. Now, the truth really was that General Motors never intended the Cimarron to be a J car that was based on the Cavalier platform. In fact, the car had originally been intended to be introduced as an X-body car, the same as the Chevrolet Citation, Pontiac Phoenix, Olds Omega, and Buick Skylark, which was a bit bigger than the J car. Unfortunately, GM saw no upside towards the continuation of the Cimarron. The main reason was that it also sought to limit the price overlap between Cadillac, Buick, and Oldsmobile. This left thousands of fans to wonder what could have been if not for GM axing the entire project. Many still believe that this was one of the worst decisions made by GM. In a sea of oversized sedans and muscle cars, the Cimarron was something different because people started finding cars that were a bit offbeat and that piqued their interest. The Cadillac Cimarron didn't follow the typical Cadillac mold, and that's exactly what the buyers adored about it. For them, the Cimarron's smaller size, compact engine, and unorthodox look made it stand out from the crowd. And let's be real, part of what makes the Cadillac Cimarron so adored to this day is nostalgia. The Cimarron was the embodiment of a decade where innovation, experimentation, and luxury came together in a unique way. It represents a time when cars used to have character, when owning something different made you stand out, and when brands used to take bold risks to make what the people wanted. Even today, the Cadillac Cimarron holds a special place in the hearts of thousands who owned one. Its timeless appeal wasn't just about the features, it was about the feeling it gave to drivers. This was a car that exuded confidence and style no matter where you were going. And there you have it. While history may not have been kind to the Cadillac Cimarron, there were indeed thousands of people who really did love it, and for good reason. Whether you drove it for the prestige, the practicality, or simply because you love the thrill of something different, the Cimarron has earned its place in automotive history. It was a car for the dreamers, the trendsetters, and the underdog lovers. So what was your favorite part about the Cadillac Cimarron, and why? Do you also think it should not have been discontinued? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. And talking about discontinued, check out our video on 5 badass cars from the 1980s that shouldn't have been canceled. We'll see you all in the next video.